Thank you all for being here, the people who are here watching already, and to the people who are yet to come. Welcome, everyone. We are bringing back the live sessions. My name is Anouk, by the way. I am Polaron's marketing wizard. And today I am here with Eva Hussain, our founder and director, and our guest speaker, Tibe, who is our Polish citizenship expert, for a talk about a few topics that we prepared, and also just to listen to what you guys have to say and your questions. So thank you all for being here.
No worries.
Thank you, Anouk. And hi, Tibe.
Hello.
I hope everyone's well. So we have a number of rapid questions that we're going to throw at you today. And the first one is, if I become a dual citizen of Poland, am I required to serve in the Polish army? So these are questions that come up all the time. So we thought we'll summarize them and ask an expert. So again, if I become a dual citizen in Poland, am I required to serve in the Polish army?
Yeah, it is a very common question that I get. So I have responded to this question a lot of the time. So the easy answer is no. So Poland does not have mandatory military service. Actually, haven't had it since 2009. So people who want to serve in the Polish army, they can do it voluntarily.
So in other words, there's no requirement. And if I'm a citizen, first of all, if I'm a woman, I don't serve, right? And if I'm male, if I live outside of Poland and don't volunteer to serve in the military, I cannot be drafted. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. And there are also no current plans to bring back this conscription, but if historically changes like this has also not affected Polish citizens who are not residing in Poland. So if you are a dual citizen and you're not living in Poland, then it shouldn't even be on your radar. Is that concern? Yeah.
Brilliant. All right. And this question comes up all the time too. And it is to do with AI, and we are very excited, or less excited, about AI. But what if I want to use AI or something like ChatGPT to help me work out my eligibility, or file my application with the Polish government? Can I use it?
So yeah, that is a really good question, because I do see that more and more people use platforms like ChatGPT to get their eligibility assessed. But it's not an easy yes or no answer for this question, because ChatGPT specifically is very helpful just to receive general information, but it's really important to remember that it's not like an AI that is trained in the specifics of Polish citizenship law. So that's really important to remember. And I also actually tested this in a case study where I presented a case just to see how accurate it would actually be. And I did see that, it's not very up to date with specific things like military service rules or naturalization and the timing around it, or how certain occupation can even affect someone's eligibility. So it's definitely not the best place you should go to have a safe answer in terms of do I qualify or not, because their answers is also just based on public content, what's available on the internet. The answers are very broad, so it's going to give you like a vague maybe or perhaps, or so. It's good for general information, but if you want to be sure if you qualify or not, then it's just better to contact us, because our eligibility assessment is free of charge anyway. So, and you'll be provided with a clear yes or no answer, with the proper explanation as well. So that's what I definitely recommend everyone to do. And in terms of filing an application, I personally definitely would not recommend using an AI tool to do it, just because, again, it's not trained for things like this. It doesn't know very important stuff, like, for example, what type of certification does my documentation need? What kind of translation is sufficient and which is not? Which is really important for Polish citizenship applications because it's not just rocket science, I guess you could say. It's a little bit more complicated than that. So it's best to work with professional, and it's also very important to know that AI cannot certify documents for you, for example, like apostilles or something. And it is also not in a position to do it on your behalf, like to act on your behalf. So yeah, definitely go with professionals who know that how it works, that Polish government does not accept digital copies, for example. So yeah, I think you're already, if you're watching, you're at the right address because that's what we're here for.
Yeah, and I think Poland is very progressive in many different things, including technology. It's well known for advances in AI, but it's not well known for not being bureaucratic, let me tell you. And you've already mentioned that, Tibet, but I'll just add, that applications are paper applications. So you do need to give the Polish government everything in hard copy format. And also, I'll add that Polish is a very gendered language, meaning that if you use machine translation for things, and if you happen to be a woman, it is possible, if not even likely, that AI will translate you as being a man. So you can get yourself into trouble very easily if you don't speak the language and you rely on technology too much. So thank you for that. I do have one more question, and that one is also one that comes up all the time. But do I have to speak Polish to be able to claim my citizenship?
No, you do not need to speak Polish if you're applying for Polish citizenship by descent. There's no language requirement whatsoever. Personally, I would recommend people to maybe learn a little bit of Polish.
Yes.
You know, if you plan on visiting, then it's always nice to give it a try when you're ordering a coffee. But in terms of the process itself, no, you do not need to speak the language.
Great. Well, you've been very helpful. I'm just going to ask Anouk now if we have any questions from the audience, because we are going to live. So over to you, Anouk.
Yes, please. I would love to remind everyone to please drop your comments below. And if we cannot answer your comments here, we can answer them in the next session. Someone is asking, so if they hold the dual citizenship, do they need to pay double taxes, or how does that work exactly?
Tibet, would you like to take that one on, or would you like me to answer?
I can start with what I know and you can add on if it's necessary. So yeah, if you are a dual citizen, but you are not residing in Poland, then you are not obligated to pay taxes because then, yeah, you don't have a source of income, you're not benefiting from the healthcare system, so that doesn't apply to you then, unless I am mistaken.
No, I think that's a pretty good explanation. I mean, we always advise people to check with your tax advisor, but the general rule is that many countries have a treaty signed with Poland for no dual taxation. So it just means that you're not taxed twice. But depending on where your residence is, you may be required to pay tax if you stay there for more than 183 days in a year. I think that's the threshold. But of course, if you are a US citizen, you have to report your taxes no matter where, on your taxes, no matter where you live. So we're not taxation experts, so it's always best to check. But typically, you're not required to pay your taxes twice if you don't live in Poland or Europe. All right, what else have we got there, Anouk?
I can see someone is asking, I am adopted. Does that make my case more difficult?
Tibet, does it?
Yeah, it's a good question because it's not always so common. So it's good that someone is asking the question. But basically, as long as you are adopted before you turned 18 years old, then legally there is no issue. And if you are adopted, then again, during our eligibility assessment, we go over all the paperwork that you have and just see what if we're claiming Polish citizenship through your biological parents, or if we're doing it through the adoptive parent. But it shouldn't hold you back for looking into it, for sure.
Yeah. That's a very good answer, Tiva. And to the person that asked you a question, it also depends when you were born. And Poland has pretty simple legislation to do with citizenship. Yes, yet when it comes to adoption, it's a little bit complex in that there were lots of laws to do with that kind of contradict each other. So it's always best to contact us, and we'll check your eligibility for free. Typically, if your natural parents or adopted parents were Polish, you typically qualify, unless you were born in a particular time frame, which might preclude you from being able to benefit. But we'll always check it and tell you whether you qualify or don't qualify. So on that note, I think we've run out of time. But Tibet, thank you for your time, and thank you for your very learned answers.
My pleasure.
What do we do next? What do people need to do if they want to pursue their Polish citizenship? That's my last question to you.
Yes, I would recommend you to visit our website, which is a really great website, actually, and you can easily fill out our eligibility form, which then also gives you the opportunity to schedule a call with me or one of my colleagues, whoever is available first. And then you can, have a chat with us. We can talk through your family history, discuss your eligibility, and see, what the options are. And if you're not very comfortable with maybe having a call, then you can always email us directly. So I believe the best email address would be enquiries@polaron.com.au.
Yep, or citizenship.com.au. We'll drop the information in the comments, and we invite you to contact us and ask any other questions you might have. And on that note, thank you, Anouk, and thank you, Tibet.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. And we're looking forward to having a chat again next week.
Me too.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.